Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Mocha Jules, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you are one of my returning babes, hey beautiful. So today's video, we're going to be doing this look here for date night, girls night out. That lip is giving a statement. This eyes, girl. So if you want to see how I create this look, go ahead and stay tuned. Everything will be listed down in the description box below, and I hope to see you beauty at the end of this video. Alright beauties, so we already did our brows, we prep our lids with our concealer and our setting powder. Let me first quickly tell you what I used to do all of that. So for my skin prep, I did use my Dermalogica Skin Smoothing Cream, which looks like this. And then to prep my lids, I went ahead and go with my e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Deep Cinnamon, which looks like this. And then I went and I set it with my Laura Mercier Translucent Medium Deep Powder, which looks like this. And then we have this. So now we're going to go ahead and start with our lids. So for our eyes today, we're going to use one eyeshadow palette. So the palette that we'll be using today is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette, which looks like this. To me, I feel as though this is a beginner-friendly eyeshadow palette. If you're a beginner, this eyeshadow palette would definitely be good for you because it has the browns, the nudes, the black, and it's a very neutral palette that, you know, you can switch it up if you want to, but this is a very much so beginner-friendly palette. So first we're going to start with our transition shade, which is always a brown for me. If you have never watched my previous videos, I love using a brown eyeshadow as my transition shade, no matter if I'm going in with color or whatever the case may be, because you can use colors as your transition shade, but I just love using a brown because I feel like a brown just sets it off for me. So the brown that I'll be using today is this brown right here, and I'll be going in with my Sephora Pro Crease number 24 brush, which looks like this. And then I'll be applying that brown eyeshadow here in my creases. So when applying my transition shade or eyeshadow period, I do not go with a rough hand. I do like to hold my brushes like this and gently go on my lids with it, because when you go with such a rough hand, it come out rough. Also, you want to start off gentle because as you gradually apply your eyeshadow, you know, you can give yourself room to make mistakes and to be able to fix it and all that good stuff. So yeah, I definitely watch how I, you know, apply my eyeshadow. So I do my best to not go up to my brows. This is as far as I try to stay at. As you can see, this is where we're gonna stop. I just realized that I'm so far, so I'm going to zoom in a bit so that you babes can see. I'm going to stay right here. Alright, so now for our lids, we are going to go in with this shade right here. This one right here. And I'm using this brush that I got from Amazon. I will link everything down below. So this brush is a flat brush, as you can see. And it's going to allow me to get into like the small corners and just to be able to pack on this eyeshadow nicely on my lids. So I'm going to start off here in the inner corner. Even though I am going to add like a white here in the inner corner, I'm still going to add this eyeshadow on my whole lid, which I'm going to stop, you know, towards the end. But I am going to apply it at the beginning of my lid, and then we're going to move it here, and then we're going to stop, and then we're going to blend it in with that transition shade. So I like to pack it on first. I don't rub it when I do this, so just pack it on. And then do a wave like I am doing like a cut crease with the eyeshadow instead of, you know, doing like the whole cut crease thing. I'm just moving it, shaping it like I'm doing a cut crease. I'm patting it on. And if we want it to be more pigmented, just go back in that eyeshadow, tap the excess, and then pat it on more. Alright, so now we're going to go back in with that Sephora Pro Crease number 24 brush. And we're just going to go ahead and blend out the outer corner just to make sure that it does not look harsh, as you can see. If you want, you can go back in the palette and get some more of that brown eyeshadow. But I did not go back in just yet. I'm just using whatever was left over on the brush to blend it on. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and go in to the black. It's gonna do like this like cat eye look. And we're gonna go in with this black right here. So I'm gonna go in with my Morphe M331 eye blender brush, which looks like this. Alright, so I'm gently going in that black eyeshadow. I'm not like packing it on and making it super black. I just gently go on and it looks like this. And then I'm gonna gently apply it. As I said, I like to hold my brushes like this, like I'm holding a pencil, and I'm gonna gently go on my lids with it, and then it's gonna gradually become what I want it to become, because I like to go in, as I said, lightly and then build up to how I want it to look, because it gives me room to make mistakes and also to get to exactly where I want it to look. So I'm gonna move like upwards because I want that cat eye look. And again, I can use my concealer to shape it after I apply this, but I'm also gonna, you know, do it with the brush as well. I know you can see how it looks right now, but we're gonna clean it. We're definitely gonna clean it. And I have it on my creases to just give it that pop and that 3D dimension type look. But I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna blend it back with that transition shade that we have, because again, we don't want it to look harsh. So I know it's looking crazy right now, but we gotta trust the process. So now we're going in with that Sephora Pro Crease number 24 brush on that transition shade, and we're gonna blend this all in. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and apply my liner. I'm going to do liner. As we continue, it's going to get cleaned up and it's going to look really nice. Trust me on this, okay? So I'm going to use my e.l.f. Expert Liner in the shade Jet Black, which looks like this, to apply my liner. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and prime our skin. Now that we have our liner, our eyeshadow, we're going to prime our skin. So today's primer, we're going to be using our Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum. If you know, you know. And I have the shade Juice Boost, and it looks like this. And we're going to apply it all over our face. Alright. So our face is dried down. It's a bit tacky. Not a bit, it's a lot tacky. So now we're going to go ahead and apply our foundation. So lately I've been swapping between my One Size and my Huda Beauty. So today I'm going to be using my Huda Beauty because my last video I had used the One Size. So we're going to go in with Easy Blur, and I am using the shade Hot Fudge 550R, which looks like this. And the brush that I'll be using to apply my foundation, the Morphe M104 brush. It is their foundation brush, which looks like this. I love this brush. It applies the foundation so good. So good. So I'm going to apply it on top of the foundation. Usually I don't do it this way, kind of. I would use like a behind my palm. I don't even know why I just did it that way, but let's just pretend like we didn't do it. Usually I do it behind my palm. Why did I just do whatever? But anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and apply our foundation all over our face. So now it's time for concealer and contour. So to conceal today, I'm trying not to use like the same products in every video because I don't want y'all to be bored when I'm doing my makeup, okay? So I just need to get some more concealer, different type of concealer that you babes can definitely get into. I do have a few concealers, but I have my faves that I just continuously go to. Let me know if you guys are okay with me using the same concealer or the same products all the time, or do you guys want me to change it up often so that you can have more options, which I'm pretty sure you will. But yeah, so the concealer that I'll be using, today I'm gonna stick with what I usually use, or my fave. So today's concealer, I'll be using my Urban Decay Stay Naked Quickie Concealer in the shade 90NN. I'm going to go in with this first, and then as I let it dry down, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my black opal foundation stick. I'm going to use this to contour, and this is in the shade Java Dream, which looks like this. And after I blend it all out, I'm going to go ahead and highlight with my Hourglass Airbrush concealer in the shade Teak, which looks like this. And the brushes that I'll be using. So to blend out my contour, I'm going to go in with my Morphe M241 powder bronzer brush, which I use it to apply my liquid and cream contour bronzer. And then to blend out my concealer, I'm going to go in with my Morphe blending sponge. And when I use my sponge, it's dirty on the other side, so I'm not trying to show y'all that side, which I just did, girl. So when I use my sponge, I don't damp it, I don't do anything extra. I do leave it dry, but to each their own. If you want to do it damp, you can go ahead. If you want to do it dry, but I like to do it dry. That's just how I preferably like to do it. So when I'm applying my concealer, I am going to apply it here in the inner corner of my face. But then on the outer corner, I'm going to use a brush, like the flat brush, to sharpen up my eyeshadow as well. Alright, so now we have our highlight. So now before we apply our powder products, we're going to go ahead and set our face for the first time, because we have like maybe 2 more times to set our face. So we're going to set our face now. So to do that, I'm going to go in with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Set Refresh Spray, which looks like this. And this, I am pretty gentle with it because it is a dewy spray, and I noticed that when I am heavy-handed with it, I do tend to stay glowy, dewy, even if I apply the powder product. So I definitely, you know, tread a bit lightly with this. So test the spray and then spray. All right, also a tip, when you are doing this part with spraying your face, if you have like a bright eyeshadow period, I would suggest to cover your eyes like this and then spray, just so that the eyeshadow doesn't get hit. Because now, because I forgot to do that, I'm gonna have to go back in with that flat brush that I used for this eyeshadow right here, because I don't know if you guys can see, but I did spray it just a bit. So I'm gonna go in with that brush and I'm just going to add some more eyeshadow. I'm gonna do it very gently to fix it all up. Alright, so now before we apply our loose setting powder, I'm gonna go in with a pressed powder. I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in the shade 3. Sometimes I go in with the Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder, or I'll go in with my MAC Studio Fix NC50. But today I'm going to be using my Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm going to go in with my powder puff. And I'm going to lightly go in there, and then I'm going to set this first, and then after that we're going to go in to our loose powder. So I'm going to go ahead and go in. I'm going to pat it into the powder, and then I'm going to pat it in the back of my palm to evenly coat it, and then we're going to go under the eyes with it. Can we see the difference here? Girl. But the loose powder that I'll be going in has color in there, so it's going to bring this bright highlight down. But towards the end too, I'm going to go back in with this as well, just a bit, but this looks so good. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Trust the process. Looking real crazy. So we're going to go ahead and flip this to the other side, and we're going to go ahead and use our loose powder. So the loose powder that we'll be using today is the Anastasia Beverly Hills loose setting powder in the shade Golden Orange. And I'm going to do the same technique where I'm going to go into this powder, and then I'm going to pat it on the back of my palm to evenly coat it out. Alright, so now that we got our face set, girl, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So we're going to go ahead and apply our finishing powder, which I'll be going in with my Sephora Micro Smooth Powder in the number 75 Hazelnut, which looks like this. And to apply this powder, I will be going in with my Morphe M162 brush, which looks like this. Apply this powder all over where we did not apply the loose powder. Alright, so now we're going to apply our liner on our waterline. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide on eye pencil, and this is in the shade Perversion, and it's pretty much a black. And we're gonna apply it on our waterline. Alright, so now to blend in on my waterline as well, I'm going to go in with my Sephora Pro Crease number 24 brush, and I'm going to go in with that brown shade that we used at the beginning as our transition shade. Alright, so I did go ahead and apply my lashes. So the lashes that I do use is these lashes that I got from Amazon. It's the new Cali Beauty lashes. And this is like a wispy style. I will link it down below for you. So now we're heading towards the end of this makeup look. So next we're going to go ahead and bronze. I'm going to keep like touching my lashes because I do like to make sure that they're intact, because girl, sometimes they want to move, sometimes they want to stay, and I get very teary-eyed here, so it tends to lift sometimes. Now we're gonna go ahead and bronze. So the bronzer that I'll be using today is my Juvia's Place Bronze Bronzy in the shade Deep Dark, which looks like this. Then I'll be going into both shades to bronze my face. And the brush that I'll be using today is my Morphe M242 brush, which looks like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in with that same Sephora Pro Crease number 24 brush. I'm going to go in this top shade right here, and I'm going to outline my nose and just buff it out here just to shape it a bit. And I did have somebody in my previous video ask me why don't I make my nose smaller or something like that, something in that area of question. And I told them that because I love the shape of my nose, I don't like to too much, you know, slim it out or anything or change the appearance of it. So I don't really like do much to it. I probably bring it down just a little bit, but I don't do like that whole like, what is that, contour? Is it contour when the whole nose thing? I think it is. Excuse me if I get the terms wrong, but I don't do all that, only because I just want the shape of my nose to stay the same. I just like bring this in, but then at the rest of my nose, I like to keep it the way that it is. So I'm gonna go in with that brush that we used to apply the powder, and I'm gonna powder it in because I don't want it to look too harsh. And yeah, pretty much that's that. So for blush, we're going to go ahead and use our Juvia's Place Blush Rouge Volume 1. And I'm going to go into both of these blushes to get like that nice blush look. And the brush that I'll be using today is my Morphe 203 Powder Blush Brush, which looks like this. Y'all see I have to wash my brush. This is a 3-day weekend, so I have time. Plus, I'm going to a wedding this week, upcoming week, so I need to wash these brushes in order to make sure my face is slayed, okay? So I'm going to go into both blushes, tap the excess. Alright, so now before we do go ahead and do our lips, which is going to be the last thing, I am going to go ahead and go in with the next setting spray, which is going to be my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. And this is pretty much, I think this is this travel size. I got this in PR, so I think this is the travel size. So I'm going to go ahead and use this spray. I'm going to test the spray first to make sure it doesn't spit in our face, and it is spitting. And then we're going to spray and then dry it up. Remember to... So last but not least is the lips. So before we apply our liner, I'm going to take that same Morphe M162 powder brush that had the micro smooth powder, and then I'm going to pat it on my lips. We're going to set our lips, because this step right here makes the lip combo eat. So now we're gonna go ahead and outline our lips. Even though we're doing a red lippy, I am gonna outline my lips. So to outline my lips, I'm gonna use my Maybelline Lifter Liner in the shade Cross the Line. This is the pencil here. Alright, so now for our red lippy. So today's red lippy that we'll be using is the Lip Bar liquid matte lipstick, and this is in the shade Boss Lady. Y'all, I love this so much, and I'm about to go eat for date nights, and this is gonna stay on. I'm telling you, this lipstick here is the truth. So this is the finishing look. What do you babes think? I am loving it. Do we love like the cat eye, smoky eye look that we got going on? And that red lip is what's popping this eyeshadow look out more. Girl, you're gonna look so good. But don't forget, if you do recreate this makeup look, don't forget to tag me on Instagram at Mocha Jewels and TikTok at I am Mocha Jewels, girl, because I would love to hype you up, because I know you're about to eat this up, girl. I know you are. So babes, that's the end of today's video. Let me know down in the comments below of anything else you would love for me to create for you, or any details that I may have left in today's video. Ask me down below and I'll be sure to answer it all for you. So as always, I love you beauties. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you on my next video. Bye.